it is unfair to the country, it is unfair to the players, it is unfair to the fans that are following cricket, especially of that country, of the countries that are involved in such high stakes matches.
I mean, for me, it's very saddening to see people like Trent Bolt play for MI Cape Town, MI, I don't know, Dhaka, MI Colombo, MI, I don't know where all he's playing for MI.
Yeah, why are you finishing my career before it has started?
आज तक मेरे को एक टिकट नहीं दिया उन लोगों ने, वो क्या सजेशन लेंगे मेरे से?
Welcome to our new episode. We are going to have a very, very, very interesting conversation today. I think Suvigya's jersey has given it away, and Rahul not supporting or wearing any jersey has also given it away. We're going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of leagues and what that has, what impact that has on cricket overall, bilaterals, ICC events, everything.
Spicy.
Yes. So let's start with the main question, like always. Do you feel like a league or the multiple leagues that happen around the year is taking away the excitement that you have for not as much as bilateral series but for ICC tournaments?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, and I mean, things like the World Cup happening once in every 4 years is still very much exciting for the viewers. So ICC events like Asia Cup, World Cup, T20 World Cup are still exciting enough. And I mean, personally for me, franchise cricket or ICC event based cricket, international cricket, right, for me are two separate things that I like to watch both from a very different perspective. So for me the excitement is there for both. So yeah, never felt that okay, the IPL is the only main event every year. For me, I'm equally excited to watch Asia Cup, equally excited to watch World Cup.
If anything, franchise cricket, especially the IPL, I feel like raises the standards for bilaterals, because it's not so much that you're not excited, it's the fact that your bilaterals may or may not deliver as exciting a match as you see in franchise cricket. But that is just because of the format. So I feel like Rahul said, you have to go in with a different mindset. Like, मैं जब IPL देख रहा होता हूँ, unless it is Mumbai Indians playing, I'm watching from a point of view of being entertained. When I'm seeing bilateral, it's a much different emotions, like country, India.
Yeah, exactly. And for me, the franchise cricket is all about finding talent. Look at Tilak Verma today. Look at Ayush Badoni today. That is what excites me, to see fresh talent, to see these kids performing so well. And having that prospect, okay, if some injury happens, maybe we can pick this guy up and put him in our squad.
Yeah.
Right? So from a standpoint that you're looking at, these kids, these upcoming players, who are doing really well, I think that's what is, for me, seeing new talent is what makes franchise cricket very exciting for me.
Also, speaking of new talent, I think players like brilliant new players like Piyush Chawla and Amit Mishra, they get a chance. To come back
to get a chance.
Ajinkya Rahane.
These newcomers in cricket come and get a chance to cause absolute mayhem, and there is nothing as fun to watch as that is.
Right.
Like when Amit Mishra gets a wicket and in full frustration celebrates or enjoy, it is so fun to watch. Like, that is what you call entertainment. That is what franchise cricket is so great for. So I different formats, different expectations. You just need to know what you're getting in for.
Yeah.
Totally agree with you.
Right. Like also Rahul said, right, it gives you players like Tilak Verma and Ayush Badoni, it gives them a platform, because Tilak Verma was a good player even in domestic, he's a good player even in IPL. But how many people are actually tuning in and watching, say, like a Syed Mushtaq Ali or a Vijay Hazare Trophy? Nobody is doing that. People are sitting and watching IPL because it's just cricket packaged better with entertainment.
Yeah.
So I think then that gives you that thing where, or someone like Marco Jansen, right? He didn't even debut for South Africa when he came and he played IPL, and then everybody knew who he was before he made his debut. So to give that stage to a youngster, to give that pressure, like say you're playing in the Narendra Modi Stadium with thousands and lakhs of people watching, it's just like it puts you in a place like nothing else can.
I have to say, it's also equally good playing in Wankhede. Like, you don't have to play every match in Narendra Modi Stadium. He's like, मुंबई में अच्छे मैचेस हुआ करते थे, प्लीज वापस आ जाओ यार, ये मतलब why are you doing this to us?
या जो मैच हो रहा है उसके टिकट्स आप मैं okay with a bad match.
And just to add in, like, you know, she spoke about Jansen, Brevis. He first played for Mumbai Indians before playing for, and it's so good to see him get picked now for.
And see the hype that there was before he even played the match. Like I feel like that is not existing in international cricket, but just because of how these franchises are structured, the social media powerhouse that is behind all of these teams, you know their personal stories before they step onto the field. Like before I knew the guy's name was Dewal Brevis, I knew कि कोई बंदा है जो baby AB है. It is just so well packaged, it is so snackable, it is so like, it's just very smartly done. So yeah,
For sure.
For that I love franchise cricket.
Yeah. And like you said, right, the social media handles and package writer, like now everybody knows Devold as Baby AB or something that's been Mumbai Indians fine.
Yeah.
Nobody remembers him as the player of the tournament in the Under-19 World Cup.
Yeah,
that's how well they package it.
I didn't know this was the thing. I'm learning about it right
That's
now. So.
how well they package it, yeah. And like another thing, what he said with Amit Mishra and Ajinkya Rahane, it gives you the opportunity of coming back because you have multiple teams. When you play for India, you have one team, you have one playing 11. When you come in IPL, you have 10 teams.
Unless you're Ruturaj and you're taking the team to Asia Games, which is like the C team, I don't know what they're doing over there. But yeah.
It's that's another topic. कौन खेल रहा है, कौन गया है, they only know. Yeah. With your players coming back, I love Ajinkya Rahane. I have this very like Marathi mulga energy with him, and I don't see him play international cricket anymore. It's just sad, right? Like you see him in some test match, then you're like, I don't know if he's going to play the next one, he's not going to play the next one with Pujara. When you see him put up a performance like the performance that he did put in for CSK this year, it was mad. Like I remember our group chat going, I can't believe this is Ajju playing, because you're used to seeing Ajju the test batsman.
I'll also say whatever happens in CSK is the player under the influence of this phenomenon that is called MS Dhoni. That is the only reason CSK has been so successful all of these years. I don't want to get into that, but yeah, no, genuinely though, like, and Ajju himself has said, यार मैं अभी भी मैं old नहीं हूँ, I'm still young, I want to play. He has a lot of cricket left in him, so yeah, if franchise cricket can platform such players, it's always a joy to watch.
Yeah, great platform for players to bounce back. I mean, if you lose out your position in a team, right, your performances in franchise cricket, be it IPL, be it CPL, can definitely show the selectors, look, I'm down but I'm not out. Right?
And the recency bias is so strong that because of how well he played in the IPL, he was automatically a part of our international
One good game at Wankhede Day gave him the confidence to perform few more games really well, and then straight away back as vice captain.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
But yeah, good to see. It's a great platform for such players to come bounce back and prove their mettle.
Okay, now what do you really think about franchise cricket?
Yeah, I mean, look, if we have really discussed about the pros and why we really like franchise cricket, if you pick the top two, it's to see young talent and it's to see these old players come back and research from the bottom if they are if they are not in the team anymore. It's good to see these players. The reason why one con for me, the biggest con would be that players, big name players who play consistent international cricket have now started playing franchise cricket over playing for their country, be it a bilateral series or be it any ICC event, right? I mean, for me it's very saddening to see people like Trent Bolt play for MI Cape Town, MI, I don't know, Dhaka, MI Colombo, MI, I don't know where all he's playing for MI, but it's very disheartening for me to see that he's playing all around
MI New York,
but it's very disheartening to see him not playing for New Zealand, and I mean that choice, right? Now we see a lot of players just choosing, okay, like look, we'll play franchise cricket if we have the time, like their priority is straight. Look at Puran, he was playing MLC and then he's come back to play.
Yeah.
Not that you would see that Puran is not going to be an ODI player for you, right? But their priorities have been set straight that okay, we are going to play franchise cricket, which is for me a very bad point. I mean, it's a con for me, and the reason is international cricket does give you a very good platform to portray how good you still are. I'll give you one example. David Miller, considered down and out after playing for Punjab, was not getting picked anywhere, was in Rajasthan Royals, was almost benched for an entire season, came in one season and got run out immediately without facing a ball, and got picked for Gujarat Titans, and I think he's been brilliant for them. Why? Because 2019, 2020, 2021, phenomenal for his country.
Yeah.
Phenomenal for the Proteas. So, I mean, for me, it's that choice, right? I mean, look, for me, I would always want these big name players to first prioritize their country. You will definitely get free time. You know, come into such franchise cricket seasons, you know, come in midway, play 4 games, play 5 games. You are an impact player, you're definitely going to perform. You're definitely going to roll heads, right? So, I mean, for me, it is always that, you know, choose playing for your country more. And I mean, that's where it is, right? I mean, today look at Test cricket. We find Test cricket so exciting to see Ben Stokes play, to see people like Joe Root play, people like Moeen Ali play. Imagine Ben Stokes says tomorrow, no, I want to play franchise cricket, we're playing Test cricket. Everything will die out.
Yeah.
And we know that the minute Ben Stokes has time, he's going to come and play franchise cricket. So for me, the priority is always going to be international and then franchise. And again, for me, franchise cricket, as we spoke, right, it's all about the youth. It's all about upcoming talent.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Virat Kohli come in and always play IPL. I mean, again, there are no India events planned at those times, so it's okay. But just an example, right? And it was so good to see Markram, Rabada, and also one more player from South, Janssen. All 3 played against Netherlands and then came to play the IPL, right? So, for me, that's the priority I would like, because, and I'll tell you the drawback of this, right? One major drawback, and just giving out or going out based on examples, right? New Zealand opener Finn Allen, Bracewell, play for RCB, bench warming while the team plays white ball series against Pakistan. For me, it is like, sure, even if your priority is like Devin Conway to play for CSK, you're going to get a game, okay. Still, it's a tough pill to swallow, but okay, right? If you're being benched, why wouldn't you want to go and play?
That's not in their hands, right? That is a management call, and as much as you can say that they don't want to be sitting on the bench, it's not like they want that हम bench पे बैठेंगे हम खेलेंगे नहीं. Another thing, just to put things into perspective, I feel prioritizing your country, yes, in 9 out of 10 situations, I think that is the way to go. But there is always that one situation, especially with countries like the West Indies, you said Puran, there is so much more benefit for playing franchise cricket as compared to playing for your country, and that sucks. It is horrible that is the situation, but that is just how it is right now. There is so much more money, you can support your family, you can build a life of your own, you get to travel the world with your family. Franchise cricket is simply so much more lucrative, whereas playing for your country, unless you are a part of a prolific team of a well-earning cricket board, is a very thankless job, and for that reason I don't blame some of these players.
I get to wear the Indian jersey, I'll wear it for free and I'll play for free. It's a matter of pride. Look, we will definitely, dwell into other conversations related to this and digress, which I don't want to. But for me, it's always that, I'm not saying don't participate. Participate in patches, right? I mean, if you're unavailable, you're unavailable. If you're available, you're there for their franchise team, right? And this phenomena, right? We had IPL 5 years back, we have CPL, Sri Lankan Premier League, we have Pakistan Premier League, I don't know which all leagues we have SC20, we have so many leagues.
I don't know if you guys know this, there's going to be a Madhya Pradesh Premier League or an Uttar Pradesh.
There is already, right now at this point, there's an ongoing Saurashtra Premier League happening.
Correct, I saw
there is a Mumbai Premier League that happens. Like,
and to be honest with you, right, that's the reason why I love the Aussies. You will never see their mainstream players prioritize Big Bash. No, they'll either play Test series in December against India, or you'll see them play a white ball series against India during that time. You never see any mainstream Australian player pick Big Bash over the chance of playing for the country. You'll see Warner not play Big Bash. You'll see Smith not play Big Bash. I mean, they again play in patches. They do come back. You see, last year Smith came back and I think he played 2 games for the Sydney Sixers, scored double hundreds, scored a century every game. So again, you can definitely still create an impact if you are, even if you're going to play reduced games.
But that's an exception. So, see, I'll tell you, like now back to the 2-3 points, back to the Finn Allen thing, right? You said that he was warming the bench, he was not going out and playing for New Zealand. That happens because, unfortunately, Finn Allen doesn't get a walk-in. Like Virat Kohli can play his matches and then come back and play for
All the
RCB.
more reason for you to go and play for your country, because look at Finn Allen right now, and I'll tell you why it's bad for him. He's not been getting the runs as an opener for New Zealand in ODI or T20s. Tim Seifert is hanging over him now. That look, you're not going to perform, I'm going to take your place. Had Finn Allen played against Pakistan and had a brilliant season, maybe Seifert would have still been considered as a backup. For me, it is like, look, you haven't gotten the runs. Bench warming is not helping. Surely you cannot walk in before Virat. Just say that, okay, look, I'll just play a 3-match series against Pakistan. I'll probably miss 3 RCB games. I'll be back.
But even if he has a 10% chance of playing with RCB when he's sitting on the bench, the moment he leaves and goes to play for New Zealand, he loses that chance.
I mean, look, again, then you're saying that in the span of 10 days you'll rule Finn Allen out and then RCB will get somebody as a replacement.
No, you won't rule him out, but you just won't even consider him as a probable for the 11.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's not ever being considered even in the 11 if players are fit, right? I mean, that's a gamble you have to take, especially, in certain situations when you need the runs before going for World Cup.
See, I think the larger question we come back to with this discussion is one of morality. What your priority is, like, let's not forget the amount of eyeballs and just the benefit that being around the biggest players in world cricket in a franchise like IPL brings to you. Just simply being associated with the same team as a player like Virat Kohli, your net worth automatically goes up. Like, you don't know what that repercussion is in New Zealand. So it comes back to a question of morality, who prefers to do what, whose goal in life is what. Yes, if someone wants to play for their country, they do that first. If someone wants to make money, then they do that. I just don't think this is something you can dog on someone for or hate on them for doing. Like, it is a matter of personal preference, and I can fully see the benefits that they are.
Yeah, I mean, no hate for sure, but I mean, I want these players to, at least the bench warmers to think that, okay, I mean, look at Miller as an example. I always take him as an example. Bench warming at Rajasthan, and then suddenly you see Miller as your key players for Gujarat, right? So I mean, if Finn Allen could have had a wonderful white ball series against Pakistan, next IPL somebody will be like, okay, look, we have seen how Finn Allen can bat. Maybe not RCB, maybe let's trade him or maybe let's buy him. I mean, look, bench warming for me never helps. So at least in those scenarios, you have to make a sensible decision. And again, I do apologize for taking Finn Allen as an example. There are so many more players who are warming the bench and not playing for their country at that point in time, which is disheartening for me. Because for me, franchise cricket is all about the youth, and I'm really excited to see them.
It's just, I guess, it's just a lot of pressure to choose between your country and your personal life. But yeah, speaking of pressure, I feel like we should also talk about how important franchise cricket is, in the sense that youngsters, like you said, are finishing these games off for these big teams with big players, and just that experience is, it's not tangible. You will not get it anywhere else. You're playing amongst the best of the best, and as much of a hot take as this might be, the level of the IPL is higher than any other cricketing sporting event. Like, it's just a fact. So that experience that you're getting from there is just intangible, and it just makes you 10 times, it just thrusts you into international.
Yeah, and I mean, we've already seen it, right? IPL has has influenced our selectors across formats.
Yeah.
So I
Not
get it.
us.
Yeah.
All
Across,
selections.
across.
Yeah.
So I mean I get it, like Indians want to put a name for themselves, all Indian players, and again it's not only about the current upcoming players. I love to see players like Ishan Sharma play, I love to see
Yeah.
players like
Yeah,
Umesh Yadav
exactly.
play, and again as you already mentioned, right, there are a lot of pros, but I guess that there's always a way out. You need to be sensible enough, like look, okay, if not IPL, then I think international cricket is the only option rather than being a backup / replacement and hope for the best that somebody gets injured, or sorry, hope for the worst that somebody gets injured and I get a game. So again, I always feel that you can do both. There is always a scope to do both, but players just picking franchise cricket, being like, okay, no, this is the best league, I will not play for my country against a weak team, doesn't make sense. So again, there's a thin line. You can definitely have a nice overlap if you would want. Again, completely as you mentioned, right, player dependent, multiple factors involved. But yeah, definitely more pros for franchise cricket and great for the sport, right? I mean, people who don't watch cricket really like to start with franchise cricket to really build that kind of interest. So a lot of pros, but yeah, I mean, for me as a fan, international cricket is always going to be at top.
But the engagement that franchise cricket gets, right? Like Rahul said, I have friends who don't understand anything about cricket, but they'll still go and sit at like clubs and bars and watch like the IPL final or whatever, which they're not sitting and doing with bilateral series, which is why there's also so much money that comes in. Like we honestly, unfortunately, just know the official numbers that go on with the franchise cricket, but oh god, the amount of money that's given under the table for things, it's just crazy. So sometimes money does also
Allegedly.
become a
Allegedly.
What happens is sometimes money does become a deciding factor, and I think that's okay, because not just in cricket, in any sport, as a sports person, your life is very short-lived. You can't play sports till you're 50, 60s,
There's no
not even till you're
there's
40.
no guarantee.
Yeah.
You could just bust your arm tomorrow and
Right. So जब तक तुम हो तब तक पैसा कमा लो. And another thing like I want to say is that there are 15, I was researching, 15 professional leagues, okay, like 15 proper, like IPL, Big Bash, 100, not even talking about the smaller ones. It's mad what it's doing for cricket.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. It's not like in India we need to boost the sport anymore. इससे आगे नहीं जाएगा. But other places like just MLC that has started in US now, it's going to change whatever happens.
And what a smart way to do it. Like next year you have the T20 World Cup over there, and just you're guaranteeing that it's anyways Indians are everywhere, तो हम और कोई नहीं खरीदेगा तो हम सारे stadium के tickets ले ही लेंगे. But there are so many more people who are going to go and visit these stadiums. It's good for the sport in general, and not just for men's cricket, more so for women's cricket. What the women's IPL has done is insane, because
For sure.
Unfortunately, people didn't even know the names of national treasures that are part of a women's team. At least now they are getting those eyeballs that respect that they deserve. They've earned the name they've made for themselves, and that, like we said, for men's cricket falls into international cricket also. So it's a good start for them as well.
Yeah. The 100% what you said. Places like US or the women's cricket, I went for one WPL match and it was so good to watch. Just like people are just coming, players are coming and they're dancing by the boundary, and the crowd is getting up and dancing with
Jamie dancing
Yeah.
is the best thing. If you're watching, amazing.
Please watch.
Yeah, please watch.
If you're not watching. Yeah, but I all in all think franchise cricket is doing better for us. And also like innovations in the game of cricket, like you have what 100 has done, which I took a while to understand the concept. I don't think I've still fully understood the concept of 100.
It's a bit
Yeah, so what they
did.
did, then what the whole impact player thing that IPL has gotten, so you need to make those timely
Impact
changes.
player is crazy.
I love it.
Imagine that happens in a World Cup final. It is just insane.
It's cheat code.
Yeah, it's a full cheat code.
10 ओवर बचे, चलो सूर्य कुमार को लाते हैं.
वो छोड़ 10 ओवर बचे चलो MS धोनी को लाते हैं कोई भी ऐसा WWE
Oh, that I love.
like in a Royal Rumble match anyone can walk out. It's crazy. So yeah.
It's great. I think franchise cricket. I think if anything, they should make more smaller leagues like Mumbai League, Saurashtra League, whatever. So just
Definitely at the domestic level more.
Yeah.
I don't think we need more at the
Yeah.
international level. I think there's more than enough. I also feel that and so this is my only gripe with the IPL is that they milk it for money, rightfully so. It's a money making machine for them, so they will milk it as a corporate business, as a whatever. But the fact that it doesn't leave the players with enough time to prepare for events like the World Test Championship, which falls for whatever reason immediately after the IPL, is unfair. It is unfair to the country, it is unfair to the players, it is unfair to the fans that are following cricket, especially of that country, of the countries that are involved in such high stakes matches.
As you say, right, reduce the duration of franchise cricket or a particular league. If there are so many leagues that are opening up, right, players are anyway not going to get time. So say for example, the MLC was relatively short, but if you have back-to-back leagues planned up, you cannot further reduce their schedule, right? I mean, sure, reducing the duration of IPL would help, but you see so many leagues coming up now, as she mentioned, 15. Do you think that there will be place left for international cricket in the near future?
But I think then that's where your choice comes in.
So again, so this is where the choice is I think this is where the choice is easier to make. Like, assuming that a player is good enough to qualify in any league, if he or she chooses to play the IPL, but also a much smaller league, then you're stupid. Like, the smaller league is not, like the ROI over there is not as much as it is for the IPL.
No,
they are two different beasts which you need to understand and then accordingly choose.
Yeah, I mean, look, not about overlapping leagues, but more about, look at it from this point that the number of bilaterals reduce. Right? What in that scenario, say for example, we tour Australia, we tour England, what if that stops? Are you going to be okay with that? Are you like, okay, we go to England next year to play Test cricket, we go to play white ball series in England?
But that's the thing, I don't think that happens because like I said,
it could happen, right? I mean,
it's tough. Like, I don't see it happening simply for the reason that IPL is a different beast. Big Bash has made its name, the 100 is there. I think these are the three major leagues.
Ones, yeah.
I don't think any player in their right mind, other than maybe Nicholas Puran, is going to go and play in the MLC and like over their country. It's so again, this is where you choose right. And
okay, so one question for you guys: do you think it's fair for BCCI to restrict Indian players from participating in foreign leagues?
So you can take isolated cases like Sanju Samson and see evidently what is happening with him is a little unfair, it's a little unlucky. But just how packed the schedule of Indian players is, I don't think there is any harm in not letting them playing for another, like I know it sounds bad, but I just think that the incentives that the BCCI offers to its players is high enough to dissuade them from playing for any other franchise sport.
Okay, so let me give you an example. We take an example of Sanju Samson. I don't think it's isolated. Let's take Prithvi Shaw. Let's take Devdutt Padikkal. Let's take so many other Indian players who can make a name for themselves if they play the Big Bash or the 100 or many other leagues. And as you say, right, these leagues are way more popular, right? And again, I think these players don't do bad in domestic cricket, right? I mean, you see Prithvi Shaw, he's been playing so well, but just gets one opportunity in the Indian team, and that was in 2021 against Australia, and then dropped.
Yeah.
If you're a player like Prithvi Shaw, if you're a player like Padikkal, or if you're a player like Samson, or bowlers for that matter, right? Do you think that, and again, it could be because there are some big name players in the team who are not going to leave until they retire. You're not going to get a spot. You're simply not going to get a spot. Is it fair to stop them from playing foreign leagues? I mean, I feel that they should be allowed, right? Because, there is no way that, you can say that, hey, look, you're just going to be put in one squad. Clearly, Prithvi Shaw is not going to walk into the white ball team if you have Gaikwad and Kishan and all these players sitting, right?
Yeah.
So I feel it's a bit unfair for me. I would allow them to go and play franchise cricket, be it the Big Bash, be it 100, be it SA20, so that they can make a name for themselves and actually show the selectors that look, on foreign soil we're doing well. And again, it's experience on foreign soil. Like
for sure.
Indian batsmen always do well on Indian soil, right?
Yeah.
If you can go and play well like in Australia, that could highlight or that could really show the selectors that hey, look, it's not only my domestic form, it's not only the runs that I score in Syed Mushtaq Ali or Ranji Trophy, it is that I can go ahead and perform well in Big Bash as well. So for me, it is an added bonus for such players that hey, look, it is another opportunity for us to show the selectors that we are still there, right? So for me, rather than having what currently exists, that you break ties with BCCI like Unmukh Chand or like Yuvraj who went to play in Canada and be like, no, then you'll not be allowed to play for India. Again, I don't understand that. For me, I would definitely allow these players to go ahead, make a name for themselves in foreign leagues and show their talent.
I think it's fair. I don't know if this is going to be appreciated or no, but I think it's fair to not let them play because there are very few cricket boards that pay you well. Okay, I think honestly there are just three. There's India, there's ECB, and there's Cricket Australia. None of the boards are paying you enough. So what India wants to do is they want to keep all their best players to themselves. They can't be like, अच्छा तुम आधे लोग जाके खेलो और तुम आधे लोग मत खेलो. They can't do that. If they allow one player to go play, they have to allow all the players to go play.
There might be a solution in what we've just been discussing, and I hope the BCCI is listening. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, there are certain contracts that are given to each of these players.
Yeah.
So maybe what they can do is that the top 3 levels of the contract, these players not allowed to play anywhere else because you're earning as much as you would, you're getting as much game time as you would by playing franchise cricket. But if you don't fall into these categories, then you allow these players to go ahead. So that serves the purpose. They can earn money, they can make a name, they can get experience and make a case study for the selectors. So I think this is a viable solution.
Yes.
BCCI.
You want to join the board?
No, I don't want to join the board. If you're listening, you're welcome.
You go to MC, na? So while going there, just in their Dropbox or something, you put your suggestion and come back.
आज तक मेरे को एक टिकट नहीं दिया उन लोगों ने, वो क्या सजेशन लेंगे मेरे से? But I think.
But good chat. Does anyone want to give any concluding statements?
Only to conclude, franchise cricket is exciting, great for the fans, great for the younger talent, great for talent, or great for the players who are, almost retired, or who are just playing for fun, like Amit Mishra or Ishan Sharma. It's good to have such mix of youth and experience.
Yeah.
I think players like Bollard playing in the MLC can definitely teach the youngsters something. So definitely a lot of pros. Not too many cons, but yeah, hopefully franchise cricket for me doesn't replace international cricket, and all fans can find a way to love both formats. So, yep.
Okay, I have a final message.
Don't follow it.
Listen closely, okay? Mumbai Indians is going to be, it is almost already, I will say currently at par with CSK because can't argue with statistics, but it is going to be the best franchise team of all time and there is no debate about it.
Can I conclude it by saying Isala Cup Namde 2024? We're ready for Isala Cup Namde 2024.
ये तो होना नहीं है. Yeah.
Yes, but comment down below and let us know what your opinion is. Do you think it's better that we have more franchise and more leagues, or do you think it's better to have more ICC events and bilateral series? We will see you next week. Like the video, subscribe, and we'll see you.